Hello and welcome back to WTCL round 14 of most. We are back for the reverse grid race, and it's the sprint race marathon and David Lester on pole position with Duncan Crowe alongside him.
Well, of course, yeah, David Lester, the man who it is. Well, it would appear as if it was confirmed that a move to lava was on. That didn't happen, so there we go. But Lester's got away well, although he has got Danko Crowe in second position, so don't by any means think that his race is over. In fact, Crowe goes down the inside into turn one. Can she take the race lead on the outside? No, she can't. Although actually she comes back at Leicester. I'll have to wait and see, but Crowe searching her first ever win in the full-time WTCL. Can she get ahead of Leicester? No. But she got slightly balked. Oh, never mind. Oh, Hackinson. You see Playboy crashing himself spectacularly. We see Hackinson going a bit slowly as well. So let's see what happens to Hackinson. Oh, something there. Whoa. Looks like some turn one action. Oh, and then he gets hit by it. So what happened here? Oh, so there you can see Prober in the background. And then what even happened? So Singh went off the track. I'm so confused. What happened here? Okay, so here we go. So you can see Hackerson goes off on the right. The minute you're going to see Singh go off to the left. Yeah, so there goes Singh. And I think they were going slowly to avoid Hackinson. And then you can see Firmino hits you. Oh, so it's actually you who went off the track. That then hits Nikolaev. So that's caused someone to pick up damage. And then you can see Nikolaev hits Firmino. And then they all just kind of...
They want to avoid Hackinson on the right.
Because he's on the racing right.
Yeah, but he twists to the other side.
But the issue, yeah, and then Ryan's got no front bumper in all this, so Ryan's just taken damage. And they've all kind of just fallen over each other. Very messy opening scenes here. As you see there, one of the Platinums has gone off. That's Nikolaev. So Hackinson, Nikolaev, Bodo involved. No, those two have already come off badly. Nikolaev in the gravel trap then. Both for a minute up there to about 21st, but there we go. So see Ryan. O'Connor is 16. Oh, they've got yellow flags. We have got yellow flags. Perez is pitting. So I'm not sure what happened to Amara Perez, but there was yellow flags for a second. Oh, is she stuck in C? Oh. That's not good. But it does appear Nikolaev has got going again, I think. So at least she's managed to get going again. Not going to just get caught in the barrel for the inquiries. Luxano up to third. Where did he start? He started all the way down in 6th. In all the madness in the midfield, we've completely neglected the front of the field, but the order is, well, you can see here, look at that train. That goes all the way back to, is that Cordova in 8th? That's a long train for the lead. Oh, now as we have a look. And this is Cordova trying to get ahead of Torres, actually. Not going to happen there. Mendes shaping up for a move on to DA. That's not going to happen. Let's say, for you turn one, we got many overtakes potentially incoming. Cordova goes down the inside on Torres. And he gets it done. And up into 7th position. And then Boucher running 9th. Perez and Ryan both in the pits. Perez to retire. Ryan with damage to the front bumper from the incident at this part of the track last time around. So we see Lingvis now ahead of Lim. O'Connor's now running 15th. I don't know man's land, but he's only a few places away from the points, so could be obviously I don't think either of them scored points yesterday, so there we go. But look at this train for the top 4. In fact, really, just the entire top 5 in general. But there we go. Crowe leads. She's after her first win as a full-time driver. Leicester second, Leicester third, Dion and DA. As you look further back and see Firmino is getting ahead of Knight up into 60th position. Knight has really dropped off a cliff lately. Not sure if Langford stopped funding or what's going on there. Or maybe it's an Urbo driver curse. We'll see Leicester defending from Lexana for 2nd position. That's going to be good news for Crowe. So see Dion, Nickel and DA running 4th and 5th. Oh, and that was Mendes widening the curve there. Not sure if he's trying to have an overtake or what. That's one of the Stoffels. That must be it. He's going down the inside on Boucher, trying to get himself up into the top 10, and he has. So both Esters shuffled down to 11th and 12th. As further ahead, you can see Mendes trying to get ahead of Lindqvist.
Was this a double overtake?
Oh, was this an over? Oh, so he got ahead of the Lamura, and then that set himself up for the move on Boucher. So 2 places and 2 corners for Ezio. That's Munat trying to get ahead of Torres. So there's not even Mendes or Lindqvist involved in this fight.
And that's the move for P2.
That's the move for P2. Lickstone trying to get ahead of Leicester. Can he get it done? Leicester nearly spins. Keeps it going. Lickstone is going to try and get through. Crowd's 2 seconds clear. So excellent race for her. But as we run down there, Lickstone gets a bit out of shape, but he's got the throttle down. Leicester comes right back round the outside. Dion's looking for a gap in behind them, but she can't really find a way through. They're still going side by side then as we head towards the hairpin. And here you feel like you'll see Lickstone get through. Dion's going to go make that 3 wide there as they went for the hairpin. They were 3 wide there for about half a second. You can see in the background this train goes all the way back to Lim, but it's Lickstone second, Dion third as she managed to get past Leicester. Leicester's now dropped to 4th, might drop to 5th behind and DA soon. But weirdly, you can see how tight they're bunched because this goes all the way back to Lim. He's running at about 40th position. So they are just allowing crowd to pull away with the race, really. There we go. Leicester started the reverse race on poles and shuffle back to 4th. Further back, you can see a couple of fights of we've got yellow flags and Nakajima. Oh, and so yeah, no, so Ryan. Oh, and Nikolaev picked by the way at some point. Don't know why, but there we go. What happened to Nakajima? So he was running 19th. Whoa!
It's a big crash.
So it looks as if the brakes failed, and then he just goes into the wall. Good news is that's a tyre barrier, so that would have absorbed a decent amount of the impact. And also good news for Nakajima is he hit it on the rear, which means that the rear is going to take most of the impact, not the front where he is sat. Which makes me think Nakajima will be fine. Maybe not mentally, but physically he'll be okay. You never really know how someone is mentally though, obviously. But yeah, Lickstone running P2 then. Good season for Pileup. I didn't really have Platinum down as doing anything this season, but they've defied away expectations, and I think Licksteiner was, what, 3rd in the drivers coming into this weekend?
Yeah.
So he's, he was a driver who nobody really had put down as a top talent in this division last year, but this year, whether it be down to the setup or just the environment of Platinum, but Licksteiner has really excelled this season. Currently running P2, but there's a long 9.5 minutes ahead. He's got man on Dion right behind him. Although Danko Kram is 4 seconds up the road. So, also Nikolaev retired. She was nowhere anyway, so no one really cares. But yeah, we can get a breather in, or at least I hope I can. So if no overtakes into the hairpin. Let's see. Oh, Boucher has been shuffled out the point. O'Connor is now fighting with Lim for 14th. So just keep an eye on that one as O'Connor begins to make his way closer and closer to the points. And after no DNFs yesterday, well, we've had 3 in the first, 6 minutes or so? So, we'll see. So look back down.
Boucher is now out of the points.
Did mention that, but yeah, Boucher shuffled out the points. Although we did see yesterday the rest of their pace came towards the latter end of the race, and not the first half. So keeping out full of the Esters towards the end of the race, as we see a DA on the back of Leicester for 4th. There we can see the 2 Envies going side by side, Munat and Mendes. Munat's trying to take P7 away from his teammate. And as they head towards turn 1, Mendes had a slightly better run there, we'll see. But yeah, he's not going to fight too hard with Mendes into turn 1. He's going to allow Munat to go through and up into 7th place. Meanwhile, behind them, Ezio's running P9. Then the Moore in 10th, running up the top 10. Then Torres, who's going to get some points on the board. DA running P5. Can he take 4th place away from David Lester, the quote-unquote sprint race merchant? We'll see. Doesn't look like it's going to happen for him there, though. But here we go. He might be able to go for this as the final corner idea. We'll have to wait and see. So they go through these almost S's, like to see Leicester make a mistake there. Keeps it going though. Let's see. Into the penultimate corner. DA shaping for the overtake. Will he go for it into the final corner? For fourth place, looks as if Leicester got a decent exit off the second last corner. All that's going to allow is DA to stay behind. And DA might have to start looking in his rearview mirrors in a minute because he's got both Cordova and Munat right onto his gearbox.
Nomura jumped Ezio in the last corner.
But here we go. This is the fight for fourth. Leicester and DA, Cordova and Munat. Of course, Nurburg and Cordova recently had that new committee thing. Obviously ahead of the Santos and Nurburg merge ahead of Season 6. Which means there's going to be 2 promotions what's in ITCL, which, let's be honest, it's going to be Advent and Waterford. Probably is confirmed, to be fair, but yeah. Oh, and DA makes a horrible mistake. That was a horrible mistake for DA.
Losing 3 positions.
Could be 4. Because I think the Motor's going for a move. Well, he might be defending Lazio.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, got ahead. So, and DA, who was right, he is coming back now. So, NDA, who was right in the fight for 4th, what a lap ago, one mistake, he's now dropped down to 9th. Could be 10th too soon because he's got Ezio all over the back of him. And then Torres and Lingvis. So, yeah, one bad mistake in a tight train like this, and all of a sudden, he's now dropped from fighting for 4th to fighting for his life to hold on for P9. And all that's going to mean as well is tyres might be overheated or something, as we've seen a Moore make a mistake there. So that might give DA some hope of making up some places. In all this, with just over 5 minutes to go, Tanker Crowd's had a lovely time of it out in front. She hasn't been challenged, really, since she got past into turn 1. And she is loving it out there. But let's see. 5 minutes to go. Leicester under pressure from now from Cordova. Who might just be able to get past into turn 1 here. Doesn't try it. Moon out on the back of them running 6th. He's got some solid pace. And DA dropped behind Ezio. So he's now dropped down to 10th. His race is derailed. Torres 11th. Boucher 12th. I think now we're going to start to see the... Look at that. Look who's on the end of that train for the points. Edgar O'Connor. 5 minutes to go.
He's still far.
Yeah, but...
What
I mean, look, he's
move
going for the move on
14?
For 14th. And now he's gone from 3 places away from the points to 2. As he gets past there. The bad news is that fighting has taken him 7 tenths behind Lingvis. The good news is Lingvis is caught up behind Torres and Boucher. Which means O'Connor, you can see the gap's already back down to half a second, sings out of the way. That looks like an engine fire. And it is. And that really does sum up the situation of this race for Tabergian. Because even if O'Connor only takes, what, 1 or 2 points, neither of them scored yesterday. So let's say Upside Down get 1 point today, that gap goes down to 3 points with 2 rounds to go. Let's say that this is the fight for 4th. This has an equally as important meaning, because obviously Nurburg have their fights, Waimali have their fight, and obviously Esther are going to try and make up as much ground as they can on it. So there we go. Munat's got ahead of Cordova and up into 5th place. And that's now going to allow him to go after David Leicester for 4th. And he's got just over 3 minutes to do that. So it's a reasonable ask of Esse Munat to try and push on for 4th. 3rd place is out of the question. Gleikson and Dion are fighting over that honour at the moment. Actually, for 2nd, that fight. But yeah. O'Connor has also worked his way up to 13th. Torres has dropped well down the field. Bad news for O'Connor. He's 1.3 seconds behind Lingvis.
Torres coming back.
And Torres is coming back at him. But O'Connor's got the inside line. Now I think Lim might keep Torres busy. Doesn't. Now Torres is free to go right on the outside on O'Connor into the hairpin. It's going to be a hard one. pull that off.
The inside might be better.
Looks as if he might have actually done it. Has he? Has he come through there? No.
Small
Bad
contact,
news
but
is Torres 2.7 seconds away from Lingers due to all of that defending from Torres. And what that now means is he's now got to try and make up for what? It's now 3 seconds in 2 minutes plus the end of that lap. So I think the points might be off the table for Upside Down. But you never say never, because if someone in the top 12 blows up with 2 minutes to go, this whole race changes.
I think Munat is setting up a move on the inside.
Looks like it. And he's going for it right down the inside. We've seen a couple of moves there this weekend. It was a bit of a shock when Perez first pulled it off, but seems to be one of the more popular overtaking spots on the track. And SA Munat is going to get up to 4th place, and Mendes' decision not to fight him that hard, proving dividend here. Because Munat's now up to 4th place and putting together a really strong race, and his teammate Mendes is on the back of Cordova. Let's see though, because O'Connor is still having to defend from Torres and Linwood. I think O'Connor's only hope at a point is if someone in the top in the points blows up. I think that would honestly be his only hope. I don't see
but this is the last lap, I think.
Time. Let's see. Nomura has done the first sector. I think it's gonna be close. What do you think? Right, 1 minute to go, and you can do the final 2 sectors. No, I think this is it.
47.
Let's see. He just entered the final sector.
Actually,
now. Yeah, let's give it one more lap.
Yeah.
So maybe there is hope for O'Connor after all. Although he's actually just dropped behind Torres, as I say that. So I think it is now officially over for O'Connor. But there we go. Yeah, Clark's on the final corner now, so there's going to be one more lap. Now the attention is drawn to the fight for P2. Manon Dion or Roman Licksteiner. Who's going to get P2? They're going to have one last lap to settle this. 9, 8, yeah, so we'll see. Can Dion get close enough? Meanwhile, Cordova's trying to get past Leicester, whose race has really not gone as he would have hoped, as he's gone from the pole of the sprint race all the way down to 6th position now. So his race has really not gone to plan. One day you can see Nomura winning P7 in the year, 8th and 0th, 9th and Boucher 10th. Checker flag is out, so this is it. This is the final lap. Now you can see the fight for 7th. We'll see if anyone tries an overtake in this train. This goes from Nomura in 7th back to Lundqvist in 11th. And I think that's a move down the inside by Ezio on D8. As he goes down the inside, and is he going to be ahead? So he come through there, right on the outside, and Ezio up to 8th place in the final lap of the race. We'll see if that encourages Boucher or Lundqvist to have a look. Further back, yeah. Mendes in 12th, just in the final point place. There we go, but heading back to the front, because if Dion's not going to be close enough to Licksteiner, unless Licksteiner makes a mistake into the second last corner. I think Licksteiner is going to be safe, but back out in front. Danica Kraut, she was going to claim her first ever win as a full-time driver. She's won the endurance, I do believe, before. But she gets her first win in the full-time. Danica Kraut wins, Licksteiner second, Dion third. Munat's going to cross the line after a very strong race in 4th, Cordova 5th, Leicester's race fell apart 6th, Nomura 7th. Then Ezio, we got 8th on the final lap. Lundqvist got ahead of, Lundqvist defending. Yeah, Lundqvist got ahead of Boucher on the line. Mendes 12 running out the points. Then Torres has gone on 11 night in 16th. Balmud's going to cross the line in 17th. Hughes going to cross the line ahead of Fabino in 18th. Roller is going to come through. She's going to finish in 20th here. Ryan blew up. He was a lap that he had already pit and was last anyway. And then Betsky and Hackerson 21st and 22nd. And Sebastian Goldschmidt with no Nakajima behind him is going to cross the line in last. Ryan, Singh, Nakajima, Nikolaev and Perez, the 5 DNFs. Fastest lap by Andrei Babinu, who's had a, well, not a great weekend, but given he didn't set a lap time in qualifying to finish the fastest lap in the sprint race and a 17th up 10 places in the first. Wasn't bad, but there we go, Danica Crowell. Her first ever win as a full-time driver. She's been probably a bit breakout star of the season. Eventually got a big, what was it? Was it last year she got that big offer from Ironside? There's all these questions. And she's absolutely delivered here this season. And gets her first win as a full-time driver with Lixler, who's been another driver who's had a good season in second, and Manon Dion, who's beginning to finally put together some solid results for Nürburgring, bringing out the podium in third.
Yeah, so I think or Optic gets like maybe 1 or 2 points more in this race, but in the main race, Esther outclassed them. So overall, it was Esther's weekend again.
I mentioned this yesterday, but I think Esther needs to genuinely sabotage themselves to lose this title. And even then, Optic / Envy, they're going to have to put off 2 flawless weekends in a row. So, Esther looking strong for their first ever title. Question is, where's Boucher going to end up next season? Because obviously she was put on the market. We'll wait and see for that one. But yeah. So, next week, well, after this, only 2 more rounds. Yep, there's only 2. And next weekend, we're off to San Francisco. All 3 series are on. Street track, we've got the WTCL, the ITCL, and the JTCL. So, plenty to play for next week. But that's the end of this week of action. With a few solid races to enjoy this weekend. Next weekend in America for the street track at San Francisco, which was very interesting last year. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else to add. So, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we will see a new champion in San Francisco in both series. We'll have to wait and see next weekend. Yeah, the season is coming to an end. The more and more news are coming from season 6. But yeah, make sure to stay around in this exciting season finale, which will continue next weekend. So see you next Friday, the practice session. And until then, goodbye.